Despite the danger, the protests go on. This is Damascus today, the Muslim holy day of Eid. That did not stop the killing. In the city of Daraa, security forces opened fire. Opposition groups say 4 were killed. 3 others died elsewhere in Syria. But there is also killing in secret. Amnesty International say 88 have died in police detention, often after torture. Sakar Halak was a 43-year-old doctor in Aleppo. He was arrested in May after a visit to America. A fellow doctor saw him in detention. 3 days later he was dead.
His eyes was gouged. His genitals were mutilated. Electrical shocks was all over his legs and feet.
At Tel Kalach, Majd al-Khoury was one of 7 men who denounced the regime at this demonstration in May. He was arrested the next day. He was dead 10 days later. His face was so badly disfigured that his family recognized him only from a tattoo on his arm. Amnesty International has obtained video and photographic evidence taken by the families of the dead after the bodies were returned to them. We've seen some of it too. It shows mutilations and injuries so graphic, so appalling, that we can't broadcast them.
We have at least 3,000 names. There's said to be 12 to 15,000 people detained in the country at the moment. We know that torture has been widespread over many years, and it's got much, much worse. Most people are held in incommunicado detention. The levels of abuse have got worse, nearly back to the times of the 1980s. That it's quite likely that more people, very sadly, have died in custody as well.
10 of the 88 in today's report were under 18. Tamer Mohammed al-Shari was 15. He was arrested in Al-Jazaa in April. A fellow detainee, later released, saw him beaten by security officials and covered in blood.
Then I heard the child screaming loudly and pleading for help. They hit him with a gun on the back of his neck and he collapsed. Afterwards, he was hit with a sharp metal sword. He was hit repeatedly on his back. The boy fell unconscious from the severity of the beating.
His body was returned to his family in June. His funeral stirred grief and rage. Despite Western condemnation and strengthening economic sanctions, it was one more fatal reminder of what Syria's security state will do to crush opposition. Alan Little, BBC News.